The grandparents weren't grandparents. The hero was dead the whole time. Entire friend group killed each other over a champagne accident. Two twin boys live with their mother after she returns from facial reconstruction surgery. Her face is bandaged, and she's acting cold and distant, only acknowledging one of the twins. The boys become convinced this woman isn't their real mother. They tie her up and torture her, demanding she admit the truth. And here's the twist. She is their mother. One of the twins died in an accident before the film started. The surviving brother has been hallucinating his dead twin the entire time. The mother wasn't ignoring one son. She was grieving him. And now she's being brutally tortured by the child she had left. The film forces viewers to question what they've been seeing, making every earlier scene take on a devastating new meaning when watched again. Chris visits his girlfriend Rose's family for the weekend. The vibe is off immediately. The black staff act strange. Rose's parents are too friendly. Then Chris gets hypnotized by Rose's mother and falls into the sunken place, a void where he's conscious but paralyzed, watching his body from the inside. At first, it seems psychological, creepy but metaphorical. Then the truth comes out. Rose's family has been luring black people to their estate, auctioning off their bodies and surgically transplanting white people's brains into them. The sunken place isn't therapy. It's preparation for body theft. Chris wasn't meeting the parents. He was being evaluated as a product. And Rose? She's done this a dozen times. The photos on her computer show a long line of victims, all smiling next to her before they disappear. Get Out didn't just twist the plot. It turned a horror movie into a brutal commentary on exploitation, fetishization, and the literal consumption of black bodies. Jordan Peele weaponized the genre to expose uncomfortable truths about race in America. Final Destination 5 follows the same formula as the rest of the series. Sam has a premonition of a bridge collapse, saves his coworkers, and then death starts hunting them down one by one. And by the end, only Sam and his girlfriend Molly are left. They board a plane to Paris, thinking they've finally escaped. Then the turbulence starts. A passenger freaks out and gets kicked off the plane, and that passenger, Alex Browning from the first Final Destination film. Sam and Molly aren't escaping death. They're on Flight 180, the plane that explodes at the beginning of the franchise. Final Destination 5 isn't a sequel. It's a prequel. They were always heading toward the disaster that started everything. The entire film becomes a tragic loop, proving that no matter how hard you fight it, some fates are sealed from the very beginning. Tess books an Airbnb in Detroit and finds out it's been double booked. A guy named Keith is already staying there. Reluctantly, she agrees to share the house for the night. Then things get weird. There's a hidden basement. Tess goes down and finds a secret room with a camera, a stained mattress, and restraints. She realizes this house was used for something horrible. Keith goes down to help her and gets killed by something in the dark. That's just the first 30 minutes. The twist? There's been someone living in the tunnels beneath the house for decades. A woman called the Mother, the product of generations of incestuous captivity. She's not evil. She's broken. She was raised in those tunnels, and now she's recreating the only family structure she's ever known by kidnapping people and forcing them to stay. Then the movie twists again. AJ, a completely different character, shows up. He owns the house and is dealing with sexual assault allegations. He discovers the tunnels, realizing he's been profiting off a property built for kidnapping and rape, and the movie forces him to confront what he's been ignoring his entire life. Barbarian doesn't just have one twist. It has 3, and each one exposes a different kind of horror. The film refuses to let anyone off the hook, especially those who benefit from looking the other way. 2 kids visit their grandparents for the very first time. Mom hasn't spoken to her parents in years. But almost immediately, things feel off. Nana acts bizarre at night. Pop-Pop keeps acting strangely. The kids are told to never leave the room after 9:30 p.m. Then, the kids video chat their mom and show her the grandparents. She looks at the screen and screams. Those aren't her parents. The real grandparents were murdered. The Nana and Pop-Pop are escaped psychiatric patients who killed the elderly couple and took their place. The kids have been living with 2 delusional strangers who genuinely believed they were the grandparents. M. Night Shyamalan uses found footage to create a sense of innocent documentation that makes the reveal even more disturbing. Adelaide takes her family to their beach house. That night, 4 figures appear. Doppelgangers dressed in red jumpsuits. They attack, and Red, Adelaide's double, explains they're tethered. Clones created by the government and abandoned underground. Every person has a shadow below, forced to mimic their movements. Now, they're risen to take their place. Adelaide kills Red. They escape. Then, the final flashback hits. Adelaide isn't the original. As a child, she was attacked in a funhouse. Her tethered strangled her. dragged her underground, and then took her place. The real Adelaide we've been following is the clone. The woman she just killed, that was the real Adelaide, reclaiming her stolen life. The twist reframes everything about class, privilege, and who deserves to live above ground. Jordan Peele asks, if you were the one who made it out, would you fight just as hard to keep your place? A group of wealthy 20-somethings throw a hurricane party and play a murder game called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. Then, somebody actually dies. Paranoia takes over. The group turns on each other, convinced there's a killer among them. One by one, they all die. And by the end, only 2 survivors remain. Then, they find a phone recording. The first victim wasn't murdered. He was opening champagne with a machete, slipped, and slit his own throat. Every death, every betrayal happened because a drunk guy made a stupid mistake. There was no killer, just insecurity and mistrust that destroyed them over nothing. The film becomes a dark satire about performative friendship and how quickly people abandon loyalty when fear takes over. Scream follows Sydney Prescott as a masked killer stalks her town. Her boyfriend Billy seems suspicious, then gets killed. Sydney finds his body and mourns him. Except Billy isn't dead. He faked it. And Stu, Sydney's goofy friend, has been the second killer the entire time. They've been coordinating attacks, taking turns in the ghost face mask. Why? Billy wanted revenge on Sydney's mother for destroying his family. Stu just thought it'd be fun. No grand plan, just 2 teenagers who decided murder was entertaining. Scream introduced the idea that killers don't need tragic backstories. Sometimes they're just straight up bored. Grace lives in a dark mansion with her 2 children, who can't be exposed to sunlight. She's waiting for her husband to return from World War II. Then, strange things start happening. The kids claim they see ghosts, a family who says they live in the house. Grace fights to protect her home from these intruders. Then, the truth comes out. Grace and her children are the ghosts. Grace smothered her kids in a moment of madness, then shot herself. They've been dead the entire time. The intruders are the living family who moved in after the war. Grace has been haunting them, never realizing she's the one who can't let go. The darkness of the house wasn't about protecting her children from the light. It was the eternal darkness of death itself. Dr. Malcolm Crowe is a child psychologist treating Cole, a boy who claims he could see dead people. Malcolm tries to help him, but struggles personally. His wife barely speaks to him, seems distant. Then Cole reveals the truth. The dead don't know they're dead. They see what they want to see. Malcolm realizes he's been dead the entire movie. He was shot in the opening scene and never survived. His wife wasn't ignoring him. She was grieving him. Every interaction was a delusion. The Sixth Sense made the audience complicit, carefully showing us what Malcolm saw while hiding what was right in front of us. Shyamalan planted clues throughout the film. Malcolm never changing clothes, people never responding to him directly, the color red marking moments of death that become obvious only in hindsight.